Welcome to Mixed Media Creations with me, Creative Katie, Karen Burchill. Follow me on Instagram to see what I'm up to day to day. www.instagram.com/Creative Katie. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel or share it with your friends. Today is a Journaling by Fives video. I thought it would be cool to look at the evolution of the JB5 page. So it's kind of a time-lapse video with pictures I've taken at each step, minus the first step. So here's page 1. Stenciling. I chose to use modeling paste. Color. Focal. And finished. Page 2. What I find really interesting is some of these pages, what I saw after step 1 or step 2 totally changed as I went along for most of the pages. And I'm quite surprised at where the page ended up. I think the adding color as step 4 dramatically changed things. When I started the Journaling by 5 process, revisiting it and then revamping it and changing up the order of the steps, and in fact some of the steps, I wondered, if Journaling by 5s, while it was so wonderful when I first did it 3 years ago when Shannon Green brought it out, I wondered if there was any value in somebody who has been art journaling for a while to doing it. And I discovered that yes, I came up with different compositions. I used different colors. I had to challenge myself with troubleshooting different things because the Journaling by 5 process, the timing element, made me do decisions. Ooh, that was a bad decision. But I learned from that. And there are several pages here or parts of pages that I'm going to take and I'm going to use what I did on a page and use it deliberately on a canvas or an art journal page or an iCat at some later point, because I like how it turned out. And if it wasn't for the JB5 process and the timing element of it, I don't know that I would have come to those realizations. It kind of puts your learning about art journaling on speed, on the speed dial. It makes you go really, really fast. And the learning, because you're doing so many pages, it's giving you the practice you need. Now, honestly, do I love every one of these pages? No. But every one of these pages taught me something. Some of the pages that I liked from the beginning are ones that at the end I'm thinking, eh. And vice versa. Some of the ones that I didn't like at the beginning, I thought. Now, I really like the composition of this, and this is one of those pages that I will recreate without adding the color here, because I think that dramatically changed things, and play with that idea. I also challenged myself. I wanted to keep white space, and on some of these, I actually did manage to do it. If you've done the Journaling by 5s process with me or before, leave a comment in down below. And let me know what your experience was like. I realize that not everybody has the ability to make a video or take pictures or really wants to share. But let me know how you found this process. Did you try my steps? Let me know that. Have you tried both Shannon Green's order, the original, and this one? How did they compare? Is there one that you like better? This is another composition of the page going across with the dark color and the texture paste, and that I will duplicate. Now, in my art journaling or on my canvases, I very rarely use magazines and as focal points. Sometimes, the odd time, I use free printables, but I don't use magazines. So this was good to use all those magazine clippings that I have in my stash. This is the page that I hated at the beginning, and it's one of my favorites in the end. So much so that it didn't even need a sentiment. And I already have this started on a canvas, trying to duplicate the steps of this. Surprisingly, there are very few elements on a page that I couldn't deal with, that I thought, oh, they shouldn't be there. That little die cut at the top is one of those. It just didn't seem to fit. I did kind of minimize it and push it back a bit. Really didn't like this one at all until I put a focal point. Now, the focal point was huge, covered up a big part of it, and that became the important part of the page. This one, very little change from the beginning, from after step 2 to the end. It was kind of a composed page, and I think, the composition of that, I might try again. Where I put the collage items, how that opened up the possibilities. Without the time factor. This one was a bit of a mess from minute 1. Paint really got out of hand. And this was an example of, you can take the page almost back to square one. Get rid of the paint color. This is an example of one of the ones that I liked at this stage and at the next stage. And I had different ideas or different feeling about this. And then when the paint went on, I just kind of didn't really have an idea and a vision for this page. And that's okay. Like I said, I don't have to absolutely adore every page. I tried out some new techniques with that one, pushed the limits, discovered a few things. Overall, I think in the paint, step 4, I'm not sure if it's because it was steps later in the process or if I just needed to caution myself to use less paint and not try to get complete coverage. I think the timing got to me, and that led to some of the dramatic changes to the pages that I would have had. But everything that you've done to a page leads you to your next decision. Every page, you should count the number of decisions that you make. But every element that you've put on, every collage piece, every bit of texture, every stamp led to the next decision. And whether you went back and erased it or pushed it back in the finishing stage, it still contributed, because it may have been the reason you chose the focal point or the colors or something about it. And I've said it before during the videos, and I hope you're not getting tired of me saying it, but the magic here of this process is that you are simply doing 20 pages and you are practicing your skills and your problem-solving skills. I love this right there. Not so much right here. I think this page, if I had stopped earlier, I'm not a big fan of this page, but that's okay. As always, I'm very honest with you. And the last page. So I'd like to thank you if you've shared this journey with me and watched all these videos, and especially those of you who have left me a comment, given me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I think this is a valuable process, especially for beginners, but even for anyone who's done art journaling for a while. Please share this series with anyone you think would enjoy it. Thank you.